Hey, I'm Kaylee Bryant, and I play Josie Saltzman on the CW's Legacies.
Hey guys, I'm Nora Dominick from BuzzFeed Celeb and also the TV editor for BuzzFeed. As we all know, Legacies is a spin-off from the Vampire Diaries. So as a super fan of all of the shows, I'm challenging Kaylee today to compete against me in a Vampire Diaries universe quiz. Kaylee, are you excited? Are you ready?
I'm so nervous, but I'm ready.
Here's how it'll work. We'll take turns answering the multiple choice questions that neither of us have seen before. Each question we get correct is worth 1 point. If either of us gets the question wrong, the other person will have a chance to answer correctly and steal the point. There's a bonus question at the end of the quiz where we can wager any of the points we earned. Whoever has the most points at the end of the quiz wins. I've been watching the Vampire Diaries since I was a freshman in high school, so I'm really excited to be here. Wait, were you a fan before you got cast on Legacies?
Oh yeah, huge fan. Like you, I started watching it when I was 15 and like binge watched the whole thing. Everybody was like, oh, Kaylee's the fact checker of Legacies. Kaylee's the fact checker. And now I feel like I'm about to get dethroned, and that's okay. I accept my fate. We're in the middle of shooting a very complicated episode right now, and my brain is so frazzled. I'm like rooting for you.
No, I'm rooting for you.
Which Salvatore brother met Elena first and how? Damon, she visited the Salvatore boarding house. Stefan, he bumped into Elena at school. Damon, who ran into Elena the night her parents died and mistook her for Catherine. Stefan, he saved Elena from drowning. It's so easy, it's Damon.
In season 3, episode 17, we learned that Damon actually met Elena first on the night her parents died. While she was calling her parents to pick her up from a party, Damon saw her and mistook her for Catherine. They talked briefly, and then Damon compelled her to forget about the whole interaction.
That's such an easy one, though. It's all going to go downhill from here.
What is Hope Michelson's middle name and why? Eliza, to honor her uncle Elijah. Caroline, because Klaus fell in love with her the moment he laid eyes on her. Mystic, because her parents wanted to honor the town they met, Mystic Falls. Andrea, because it was her mother's birth name. It's D, Andrea. In the originals, we learned that Haley's birth name was Andrea Labonaire, so Hope's middle name is to honor her mother's werewolf pack. And I only now think of Jenny, who plays Lizzie, saying Hope Andrea Michelson in the Legacies every time I think of her
all the
full
time.
name.
I only hear Jenny Boyd's like Hope
Always.
Andrea Michelson. Stefan is a vampire who is particularly vicious with his human victims, a vampire otherwise known as blank. An original, a ripper, a heretic, or a hybrid. This is very easy. It's B, a ripper. Yeah, this is basic knowledge.
Klaus is a hybrid or a combination of two supernatural beings. Which combo is he? A, vampire and werewolf. B, vampire and witch. C, witch and werewolf. D, vampire and doppelganger. It is 100% vampire and werewolf. Klaus is a hybrid, aka a vampire and a werewolf. I was a huge fan of the originals, and Klaus is one of my favorite characters, so that one's an easy one.
Each Michelson created their own bloodline of vampires. Which vampire was not from Klaus's line? Ooh. This is where it's going to get difficult.
Ooh.
Okay, this is complicated. Catherine Pierce, Cami O'Connell, Marcel Gerard, Damon Salvatore, Tyler Lockwood. Oh, Tyler Lockwood, right? No!
Okay, so I think it's Cami O'Connell, because if I'm remembering correctly, Klaus loved Cami, and I don't think he turned her, so I'm gonna go with Cami. There it is. Cami was turned by Aurora, who is actually from Rebecca's bloodline.
See, that's where it got me, because I was like, oh yeah, he loved Cami, so like, why wouldn't there be the connection there? I forgot that Tyler turned into a vampire.
Oh yeah, me too. I always think of him as the first werewolf, and that's basically where it ends.
See, this is where it all goes downhill.
What year did Damon and Stefan Salvatore become vampires?
Oh, no.
1862, 1863, 1864, or 1865. Now, here's my problem. I'm really bad at math, so there's no way I can figure this out. So it's just gonna have to be a guess. I'm gonna go with 1863, which is wrong.
Should I steal? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with 65.
No!
Dang it!
64, right in the middle. So it says Damon and Stefan became vampires in 1864, which means they would be about 182 and 174 years old today. Old, very old, very old. So neither of us get a point on that question.
Yeah, that was really hard. Which of these monsters has never appeared on Legacies? Gargoyle, Siren, Sphinx, Necromancer, Krampus, Lady of the Lake. This one's easy. We've never had a siren on the show.
Yeah, Siren was just Vampire
I know my
Diaries,
own
right?
show.
You did it!
The Legacy Super Squad has fought many monsters, including the Necromancer, Krampus, Lady of the Lake, Gargoyles, and the Sphinx. However, sirens have only appeared on the Vampire Diaries.
I'm so proud of you. What food is Josie Saltzman allergic to? Strawberries, shellfish, peanuts, avocado, carrots, or seaweed? Oh God, if I get this wrong, you're gonna be so mad at me. Okay, hold on. Was it when you and Landon went on that date? Yeah? Okay. It's not strawberries. It's not peanuts. You were eating something at the grill. I don't think it was avocados or carrots. It's gotta be shellfish or seaweed. And I feel like it's gonna be something a little more random than shellfish because I don't remember it. So I think I'm gonna go with seaweed. Yay!
Good job!
There it is! Josie is actually allergic to seaweed, and we find that out during Legacies Season 2, Episode 2, when she goes on a not-so-great sushi date with Landon. Your other dates have been so much better.
I was very bitter about Josie being allergic to seaweed because seaweed is one of my favorite snacks. And so I texted Ryder, I was like, you know that you're doing this on purpose.
What were you eating with the seaweed? Was it sushi?
We went to
or was it something
sushi.
random?
We
Yeah,
didn't
it
go to
was
the grill.
sushi.
Yeah, we went to get sushi.
Yes.
Which song played when Damon and Elena kissed for the first time? What the Water Gave Me by Florence and the Machine, Gravity by Sarah Bareilles, Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol, Never Let Me Go by Florence and the Machine. Oh no.
Oh God, you know this one.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
It's definitely by Florence and the Machine. I'm gonna say Never Let Me Go by Florence and the Machine. Yes!
Yeah!
On Season 3, Episode 19 of the Vampire Diaries, Damon and Elena's first kiss is underscored by Florence and the Machine's Never Let Me Go. That
I knew you
genuinely,
knew it.
I was like, Kaylee, you can't mess this one up.
That's like the big moment outside the motel.
It's iconic, yeah. Courtney Bandico, who plays Finch, we were talking about like iconic moments. She said that Stefan and Caroline's first kiss was iconic. I was like, no.
No.
Damon and Elena, prove me wrong.
Damon and Elena, well, and now Josie and Finch had their big moment with the sparks and
Yeah, with
everything.
the sparks.
See, now you're added to the list. What is Kai Parker's Twitter handle? At King Kai 1974, at Cobra Kai 1973, at King Kai 1983, and at Cobra Kai 1972. Oh God. Okay. I definitely followed this Twitter account when it was, first revealed. It's one of the Cobra Kais. I know that. I think it's Cobra Kai 1972. Yeah! So on Season 6, Episode 9 of The Vampire Diaries, Kai officially makes a Twitter account with the handle Cobra Kai 1972. Like Karate Kid. One of my favorite characters. Wait, and then you've got to do scenes with him, which must have been amazing.
Oh my God, amazing. And he's the sweetest human being on the planet, which is confusing, but he's lovely.
All right, so now we've got a bonus question that neither of us have seen yet, and now we have to wager points before we can answer it. Are you ready?
So how difficult do we think this question is on a scale, like a sliding scale of like 1 to 10?
I'm going with it's going to be like a 10.
Here's the thing. I'm already losing.
This could tip you.
It could. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say 4 points.
Okay, I'm doing the 4. 4 points each.
What
Like,
kind of
really
car
hard?
does Stefan Salvatore drive? Color, year, and make. Oh, God!
No.
Do
Okay.
you know this?
No, of course I don't know the answer.
I know the color. I've been in Damon's car, around Damon's car. I can't tell you what make it is.
Okay, I just have to guess. Everybody that watches this video is going to be like, wow, Kaylee and Nora don't know cars.
They're going to be screaming out their screens like, how could you not know?
Okay, I did red, Corvette, and then I said 1960. Okay.
I know it's little and red.
Yeah.
The year is, I want to say, based off of the body of the vehicle. It's in the 50s, 56. Oh, great year.
Yeah,
and I'm going to say it's a Porsche?
1963 Porsche 356B Carmen Coupe, red.
Oh, it's a Carmen. That makes so much sense.
I'm never gonna forget it now.
If we had gotten together as
Yes.
one, we would have equaled each other out to get the perfect answer. Kaylee 0.
Nora won!
Well, it was a pleasure playing
this
with
was
you.
so much fun. Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching. You can tune into Legacies on the CW app or on Netflix. And you can also play the same quiz that we've been taking in the description box down below.